Welcome, electronic video guests, to the outer limits of the trading card hobby TTM. Through the mail, we seek to have the famous and the infamous sign the trading cards and photographs we send to them through the mail. Today, we have 4 such specimens to examine. 4 trading card autograph request return specimens to examine. And we will be examining these specimens in minute detail. So if you like seeing envelopes being cut open, you've come to the right place. Sit back, relax, get ready to enjoy the fun. Presented to you from the worldwide YouTube video airfill. That's right, ladies, gentlemen, aliens, extraterrestrials, whatever you are. We've got us a Tuesday TTM special. Getting ready for the Thanksgiving holiday. Hope you all have something to be thankful for. Hopefully your employers will give you a little time off to enjoy Turkey Day and watch some football. A lot of big football action this weekend. Hopefully you're not working 2 or 3 jobs, running around from job to job, trying to stuff some turkey in here or there, or having to take home some leftover food from one of the fast food places at one of your 2 or 3 jobs. Hopefully, like I said, y'all be able to take some time with your family and friends and enjoy Turkey Day this week. I've got plenty to be thankful for, and I'm sure everybody can find something to be thankful for, even in this grim world we live in. But we're going to get right to our TTMs. After we do our TTMs, we'll open the last 10 packs of this hobby box of 2025 Bowman University Chrome Football. We got one more autograph to dig out of this box. Hopefully be better than the other one we got. Once again, we'll give away pick 3. Any 3 of the cards that I don't want, we'll give them away. We'll have a contest for that. But let's get started right now with our Through the Mail trading card autograph request returns. Let's see who signed. Look at this first one. We got a big one right off the bat. This here is coming to us from Columbia, South Carolina. Team Graham. Oh boy. Team Graham from Columbia, South Carolina. You all know who that is? This is not a NFL team or a baseball team. I'll tell you that right now. It's not even a polo team. This is coming from Team Graham. Now let's cut this open and you will see Team Graham from Columbia, South Carolina. A little surprised to get this back, but hey, something to be thankful for. There's what we got in here. There's a bit of envelope there. Let's check that out. Look, look at that. How about that? Lindsey Graham. How about that? Beautiful. Well, you know, in our little introduction, I say we write these autograph request return letters to the famous and the infamous. Well, Lindsey Olin Graham, I guess, should be representative of the infamous. He is the senior U.S. Senator for South Carolina, a native of Central South Carolina, was the first in his family to attend college. He graduated from the University of South Carolina. That's the USC of the South. Before he served in the Air Force JAG Corps, eventually retiring as a colonel. The Colonel, Lindsey Graham. His early life involved taking guardianship of his younger sister after his parents died, a formative act of personal sacrifice. That might have something to do with the forming his personality, shall you say. After 8 years in the U.S. House, he entered the Senate as a conservative. As a noted defense hawk, Graham consistently advocates for aggressive, interventionist U.S. foreign policy, pushes for robust funding of Israel, military, U.S. involvement abroad, particularly against adversaries like Iran and Russia. On cultural issues, he maintains a firm social conservatism, consistently supporting gun rights and opposing measures that protect BLGBTQ individuals. That's like bacon, lettuce, tomato, gay lifestyle. It's interesting to note that some of the policy positions are opposed to his own not so secret lifestyle. Let's just put it clear. Uh, I don't put myself above Lindsey Graham, nor my lifestyle above his. Uh, as somebody who is a self proclaimed Christian, I must acknowledge nearly everything we do is sin. Indeed, what most self proclaimed Christians think of as good is in reality sin. Now, this discernment is, of course, beyond the level of most self proclaimed Christians who don't bother to investigate their faith, if they have any. But we are, however, free to judge Graham when he states and advocates policies that support his belief that Americans are more entitled to life than people in other parts of the world. The only right any human being has is the right to be done with as God so pleases. Graham is a current example of the Pharisee described by our Lord in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 18, verses 9 to 14. Look that up, read it for yourself, see what I'm talking about. Maybe I can get that scripture put up here on the screen. But we thank Lindsey Graham nonetheless for autographing our card, which we collect as a historical artifact, much like hobbyists who are not National Socialists collect Nazi memorabilia. The relics of human history are worth preserving and examining as cautions to the future. Thank you, Senator Lindsey Graham, for signing our 2016 decision card. Look at that beautiful card. Lindsey Olin Graham from Team Graham. Thank you so much. Look at that signature. I don't know if that's an auto pen or not, but it is very nice to have. Thank you, Lindsey and Team Graham. That is a great way to start our TTM special as we prepare for a nice Thanksgiving week. All right, let's get on to TTM number 2. This one is coming to us from San Francisco, California. I think that's one of Lindsey's favorite cities, San Francisco. All right, let's see what we got out there from San Francisco. How about 2 autograph returns from Mr. Brad Muster? Man, those came out great. Thank you, Brad. Now 65 years old. Look at the back of that beautiful 1989 Pro Set rookie card. Of course, Brad was an All-American running back at Stanford in 1986. He was the Bears' first-round pick in 1988. He was mostly a blocking back for them for 5 years. Also played 2 years with the Saints. For his career, 2,231 rushing yards, 4.3 yards a carry, 24 touchdowns. He also caught 202 passes for 1,906 yards, 9.4 yards per catch, 7 receiving touchdowns. Brad Muster, thank you, sir. 2 beautiful 1989 Pro Set rookie cards. Because everybody loves that 89 Pro Set. That is a great card, isn't it? Brad Muster. Look at that. Beautiful. Thank you, sir. Really appreciate that. Brad Muster. All right, next one here. That's coming to us from Baltimore, Maryland. How about that? Baltimore, Maryland. Let's see what we got from Maryland. Baltimore, Maryland. Michigan just played down here in Maryland, won that game. Getting ready for the game this weekend. We'll be talking about that in just a minute. We got our note back. It looks like there's a ball card stuck in there. Hey, we got us a great former Michigan Wolverine. Perfect timing. We got Michigan versus Ohio this week. Rick Folk, great Michigan All-American, now 80 years old. This is his 1971 Topps rookie card. Rick Volk, All-American at Michigan in 1966. He played defensive back, halfback, and quarterback. That's back in the day where it wasn't that unusual to play both sides of the ball. The Colts, second-round pick in 1967. He played safety for them for 8 years. And he played 1 year at the Giants and 2 at the Dolphins. 3-time All-Pro and a member of the Colts Super Bowl V championship team. He had an interception in that game to set up the game-tying touchdown. 38 career interceptions. 1 pick six. Rick Volk, a great old Michigan All-American and a great, great safety in the NFL, Super Bowl champion. How about that? Let me see if he asked any questions on the note, answered any questions on the note. I bet I asked him, oh yeah, that's what I asked him. Who was the best coach you ever played for, either during your time in college at Michigan or in the NFL? He said Don Shula, his coach with the Colts and the Dolphins. Don Shula, of course, was one of the greatest coaches in NFL history. Who was the best player you ever played against on the field? He said Paul Warfield. How about that? Of course, he was the Hall of Fame wide receiver for the Dolphins. 2 great answers from Mr. Rick Volk, Michigan All-American. Thank you, sir. Look at that sweet 1971 Topps rookie card. All right, we're down to our last TTM. Then we'll look at some Bowman Chrome cards. This one's coming to us. Nash Vegas. How you like that? We got something coming to us from Nash Vegas. All right, let's see what we got from Nash Vegas. Feels like we might have our note in this one too. Yes, sir, we got a note. Is there a ball card in there? How about, look at that. Look at that beautiful 1976 Topps rookie card, signed beautifully in ballpoint pen by Mr. Virgil Livers, now 73 years old. He was the Bears' 4th-round pick in 1975 out of Western Kentucky. Played cornerback for the Bears for 5 years. He had 12 career interceptions, 2 of them pick sixes. He had 6 fumble recoveries also. He is most famous for suffering one of the most gruesome injuries in NFL history. Now, how do we describe this without getting into any kind of coarse language or YouTube censorship? Let's see. He did not wear a cup while playing, and in a game against the Raiders, he took a knee to the groin area, and his testicle exploded. Now, this was back in 1976. He drove himself to the hospital. Can you imagine that? He drove himself to the hospital. Things were different back. Ball players were a little tougher back then. Virgil Livers. How do you like that? That was one of the most unusual incidents in NFL history. But look at this beautiful old 1976 Topps rookie card. Beautiful. Virgil Livers. Played his college ball at Western Kentucky. I did not ask Mr. Livers about that injury. I don't remember what I asked him, but I did not ask him about that injury. Now, what did I ask him? Who was the best coach you ever played for, college or professional? Jimmy Fikes. Jimmy Fikes in the underlying college. That was his college coach at Western Kentucky, old Jimmy Fikes. And then he also put over here Coach Pardee. That was his coach with the Bears, Jack Pardee. Who was the greatest or most difficult player you had to ever face off against? Bo Rather. That is a rather interesting answer. He, of course, was a great ball player at Michigan. Did not have the most distinguished NFL career, but he said, I wonder, it would be a little interesting as to why he picked Bo Rather. Maybe that's interesting. I would not have guessed Bo Rather. He did not have a lot of statistics in the NFL. You got a smiley face over there. Thank you, Virgil Livers. That's two very interesting answers to those questions. All right, Virgil Livers, that is our TTMs as we get ready for Thanksgiving. Now we've got 10 packs of 2025 Bowman University Chrome, some college football trading cards, rivalry week coming up, some big games in the NFL too. Of course, our Lions just pulled one out against the Giants. Tell you, the Giants play the most exciting games week in and week out. They have a little trouble finishing, but that was a crazy game. A lot of crazy plays in that game. The Lions pulled that one out. Of course, everybody around here getting ready for Michigan and Ohio State. Well, let's look at some Bowman Chrome. First up, you know what? If you saw the last video where we opened the 10 packs of these, this is like our third Malik Murphy card, unfortunately. We've got every kind of card for this guy. Quarterback of the 2-8 or 2-9 Oregon State team. All right, let's see what we got here. Adrian Norton. This is the second one of these we got. Adrian Norton. Oh boy, what a dud. Decker DeGraff, tight end of Washington, Bowman Chrome. Not sure how well he's doing this year. At least it's a different player. Oh, we got Zach Wilson's little brother, Isaac Wilson. How about that? He did not start for Utah this year. We got us an Isaac Wilson first. You can see the resemblance somewhat there to Zach Wilson. That is Zach's little brother. All right, not the greatest pack. We got 9 more to go. We got one autograph left. The other autograph we got was from Mateo Ukulele from Oregon. So it's better. All right, what do we got here? Oh, we we got the Iowa State quarterback, Rocco Becht. I'll tell you, you ever watch these Iowa State games on TV? They always praise this guy. He's like the greatest quarterback. He's not that great of a quarterback. Rocco Becht, quarterback at Iowa State. Looks like we got another QB here. Oh my goodness. We got a Bowman first for Drake Lindsay, freshman quarterback at Minnesota. Not a polished passer. Let's just leave it at that. Drake Lindsay. Oh boy. Oh, look at this here. Lenora Sellers. That's kind of a nice insert. The Acropolis. Look at Lenora standing in front of the Pantheon there. Lenora, that's an interesting card. Lenora Sellers. They say he's going to be a high draft pick. He has a lot of physical skills, though, that's for sure. But that passing game needs some work, in my opinion. Is he going to be another one of these athletes like Anthony Richardson that's drafted in the first round and needs a lot of work? I don't know, but personally, I would not take him as a high draft pick. He's just not a polished passer, but he he can he can run. Let's put it like that. All right, who else we got? Kanye Udo, running back from Arizona State. Not familiar with Kanye. Well, he had a great 2024. To see how he did this year. Arizona State took a little step down this year, but he had a great year last year. This is Bowman first. Check on his stats, see how he did this year. All right, that might be a good one. Let's keep going. These Bowman first, Bowman U Chrome cards. College football, love it. Well, we've got Auburn, Alabama this week too. Oh, here's a pretty good running back. Jonah Coleman from Washington. Bowman first. Good running back. He had a great year last year. Not quite as good this year. Some injury problems, but definitely an NFL prospect. And we got Auburn, Alabama. Of course, we got the Egg Bowl. That's always a lot of fun. Here we got a Jarek Gibson from Texas. Not sure how he's done this year. Jarek Gibson. Jarek Gibson. All right, we got us a Hoosier. D'Angelo Pons, very good cornerback on a great team defense at Indiana. D'Angelo Pons first. He's a little bit small. What do they list him as? Yeah, 5'9", 170, but I've seen a lot of Indiana games. He is a very good cornerback. He'll probably get knocked down a round or two in the NFL because of his size, but I like this guy. And then we got a Jadarian Price, the number 2 running back at Notre Dame behind Love. Not a bad running back himself. Jadarian Price. Very nice. Bowman first for any Notre Dame fans. All right, we got some decent players in that pack. Let's keep going. Let us keep going. What else? Any other big college games you all are looking forward to this weekend? Evan Pryor, running back at Cincinnati. They had a pretty good year this year. Evan Pryor, of course, he transferred to Cincinnati from Ohio State. Oh, John Mateer, Bowman first, University of Oklahoma. He's had an interesting season, as has Oklahoma. Oklahoma wins this week. They're playing LSU. They'll be in the playoffs. Of course, they are primarily led by their defense. He is a good running quarterback. His passing is a little up and down. I don't think he is an NFL quarterback. Let me take a drink here. I don't think he's an NFL quarterback. He's one of those. He's a good college quarterback. He can throw just enough to cause some trouble, but most of his damage comes when he runs the ball. Very good running quarterback. I don't see a future for him in the NFL, but and I'm sure he'll return to Oklahoma for his final season. he would not be a early round draft pick. But a very good college quarterback. You can win a lot of games with him if you got a good defense. John Mateer. What else we got here? No, we got us a numbered. Is that a numbered card or just a yellow, colored parallel of D'Angelo Ponds? All right. You hate to get a defensive player with these parallels. All right. That is some kind of a yellow parallel card. And then we have the Missouri. He's kind of like a poor man's John Mateer. Bo Pribula. Bowman first. Of course, he transferred to Missouri from Penn State. He is a running quarterback who cannot even pass as well as John Mateer. If you saw him last week, in fact, they squared up. Oklahoma and Missouri. The guy is a very, very rough passer and not even as good a runner as Mateer. He is a Dollar Tree version of John Mateer. Bo Pribula transferred to Missouri from Penn State. Backed up Drew Aller for a couple of years. All right, we've got about 5-6 packs left. We got an autograph supposedly still to come. Hopefully it's somebody good and not a kicker. Oh, we got Preston Stone, the quarterback who transferred from SMU to Northwestern. Had a pretty good year for Northwestern. They just beat Minnesota last week to get themselves bowl eligible. Northwestern will be going bowling this year. They're 6-5, and I tell you what, though, I like that Northwestern coach, David Braun. If he wants to leave Northwestern at some point, a big school, a more football tradition school, would do well to hire him, because considering the level of talent they have, they are a very competitive ball club. And they have a great defensive scheme, and they do well on offense. Great coach, David Braun. All right, here's O.J. Frederick Jr., Bowman first, cornerback from Miami. Not too familiar with this guy as far as his draft prospects. O.J. Frederick Jr., interesting name. And then we got, unfortunately, for our kind of fancy, I don't know what you call this, X Factor or whatever, we've got Rocco Becht from Iowa State. Not a very good quarterback. Rocco Becht. And we've got a Bowman first, Caden Lee, wide receiver from Ole Miss. Let's see. He had some good numbers last year. Let's take a look and see how he's done this year. Could be an NFL prospect. Caden Lee, wide receiver, Ole Miss. All right, 5 packs to go. 2025 Bowman Chrome. Let's see. And supposedly one autograph still to come. All right. Gunnar Stockton. Boy, now somebody would like that card. Bowman first, Gunnar Stockton. He's had a pretty darn good year for Georgia. What do y'all think? Of course, they got a pretty good ball game this week against Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech just suffered a devastating upset loss to Pitt. Might have damaged their playoff hopes. Remember that game Georgia and Georgia Tech had last year, that overtime game? I'm looking forward. I think this game is on Friday also. That is a nice card. I bet somebody might like to win. A Bowman first, Gunnar Stockton card. Very nice. He's had a pretty darn good year. And then we got James Peoples, the number 2 running back at Ohio State. Bowman first. Has not had a lot of carries. Starting to come on a little bit. He was a big recruit. Well, look at this. Another Gunnar Stockton card. Path to Glory. All right, so in Georgia for Gunnar Stockton fans, we're going to want to enter our contest. You can get 2 of your free cards just from Gunnar Stockton. And then we got a Javon Tracy, Wide receiver Bowman first in Minnesota. Had a decent year last year. Not sure how he's done this year with Drake Lindsay throwing the ball to him. I don't know. We'll check up his stats and see if he's had a drop off. All right, 4 packs left. Still looking for one more autograph card. These 10 packs have been a little better than the other. We got a couple of decent ball players. Let's see what else we got. Oh, Brendan Sorsby. He's had a pretty good year for Cincinnati. He transferred down there from Indiana. He's a good college quarterback. He'll probably be one of those practice squad quarterbacks in the NFL. Not a bad little ball player, Brendan Sorsby. Trent Walker, wide receiver, Oregon State. Bowman first. He had a lot of catches last year. The team, like I said, they're 2-8 or 2-9. I don't know about him. And we got us another Buckeye, Max Clare, the tight end. He will be drafted in the NFL. He transferred to Ohio State from Purdue. He had a big year last year at Purdue. You see there for a tight end, very good numbers. They had to use him quite a bit the last few games with Ohio State's injury problems at wide receiver. Max Clare, he will be in the NFL next year. One of those mid-round draft picks. Oh, we got us a Jair Hill. Bowman first, the cornerback at Michigan. Jair Hill, play's been a little up and down. Got a lot of potential or potential. He'll be drafted at some point. Jair Hill. Very nice for our Michigan Wolverines. We got the game this Saturday. Michigan versus Ohio State. Oh-ho-ho State. All right, we got a Tanner Koziol, a tight end from Houston. Not familiar with him at all. Well, he had 94 catches last year. Tanner Koziol, tight end, Houston. Interesting. All right, Jace Brown, wide receiver, Kansas State. Not familiar with him. Pretty good year last year. Here is, a Dante Moore, college rule playbook. He had a very fine year for Oregon. Dante Moore. Somebody might like that. Of course, they got a big game against Washington. If they win that, they will get into the Big Ten championship game. Then we got a DeAndre Moore Jr., wide receiver from Texas. I'm not sure how he's done with Arch Manning this year. All right, 2 packs to go. I'm supposed to get an autograph. Boy, I hope they didn't cheat me out of an autograph. Let's see who we got. How about a Joey Aguilar, quarterback at Tennessee? Had a pretty good year. Tennessee 8-3, not bad. Of course, he was involved in that weird quarterback thing, that fiasco at Tennessee when Nico left Tennessee. He came over there, and I think Tennessee fans just said, you know what, that worked out pretty good for us. Here is a Matt Zollers. He's the backup quarterback at Missouri. He had to play a couple of games when Bo Pribula was injured. He struggled a little bit. Young quarterback. Then we got a Matt Lauder, the tight end from Boise State. Pretty good year last year. Matt Lauder. And then we got an Aiden Childs, the quarterback who has been benched Michigan State. They have had an awful year. Poor little Sparty. They've lost 8 games in a row, 0-8 in the Big Ten. Aiden Childs, look at that. Look at the sleepy-eyed look on old Aiden Childs. He was considered by the Sparty fans when he transferred over there with Jonathan Smith a couple of years ago. They thought he was going to be something else. It has been a rough couple of years for Aiden Childs and the Sparties. All right, this is our last pack. Well, hopefully there's an autograph card in here. Supposed to get 2 autographs per box. We only got 1 so far. Let's see if we got us an autograph. I hope they didn't cheat us out of an autograph. All right, we got a Braden Locke, quarterback. That's a backup quarterback at Arizona. He is not the starting quarterback. You get these backup college QBs. Where did he play last year? I think he's at. Oh, he transferred from Northwestern. Oh boy, these musical chairs with the college quarterbacks are something else. All right, let's see what we got here. C.J. Allen, linebacker from Georgia. I guess he's one of their better defenders. I'm not that familiar with Georgia's defense. C.J. Allen. We got some decent Georgia players, though, with our Gunnar Stockton. Uh-oh, here's our autograph card. Eli Stowers, tight end from Vanderbilt. That's an on-card autograph, too. Eli Stowers. I guess he's had some decent numbers, but not as far as dollar value, not going to be a popular player. This one's numbered to 150. Eli Stowers, tight end Vanderbilt. Bowman first blue. Beautifully autographed on card. I think I'll keep that for myself. Eli Stowers. All right, so our 2 autographs were not that earth-shaking, but hey, you know what? It's fun to open these. Oh, here's the guy that I did get an autograph card from. Mateo Ukulele, the edge pass rusher from Oregon. Bowman first. All right, well, that's it. Like I said, these 10 packs are probably a little bit better. We got some Gunnar Stockton cards if you're a Georgia fan. Uh, if you're a Sparty fan, we got you an Aiden Childs. What else did we get? A Dante Moore, John Mateer. Not bad, not bad. Definitely the box is overpriced. I paid $129 for this, for these 80 cards. So those are about $1.50 a card. So a little bit overpriced, but hey, gotta have a little fun in life. Do something a little reckless with your money every now and then. So I did enjoy opening those. All right, we said we give away any 3 of these that I don't want. So if you want to try to get you some Gunnar Stocktons or whoever, Dante Moore, John Mateer, Aiden Childs, we got the game coming up Saturday at the Big House here in Ann Arbor. The Michigan Wolverines against the Ohio State Buckeyes. Ohio State Buckeyes. Michigan trying to beat Ohio for the 5th straight year. All right, so here's our question. You know, Ohio State, all their fans are crying on the internet about will their 2 wide receivers, Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith, play. They held them out of the last game because they had a couple minor injuries. You know they're going to play. It doesn't really matter if they play or not. Our question remains the same. Which player in the Michigan-Ohio State game will have the most receiving yards? So you just got to get down into the comments field by noon Saturday. That will be Saturday, November 29th. Put hashtag, the player's name, and then the number of yards you think they'll have. So that'll be a tiebreaker. If you think it's Jeremiah Smith, put hashtag Smith 101 if you think that's how many yards he'll get. If you think it's Carnell Tate, put hashtag Tate, whatever number of yards, 85. Maybe you think Max Clare is going to have a big day running down the seam against Michigan. Put hashtag Clare, 88. Maybe you think Andrew Marsh from Michigan is going to be the leading receiver. Put hashtag Marsh, 93, whatever you think. Which player will have the most receiving yards in the game? Michigan versus Ohio State. All right, so that is just about it. I hope you all are truly do, all joking aside and all kidding aside. It's a tough world out there for a lot of people. The economy is not good. The a lot of people struggling, hard to make ends meet. The government seems a little insensitive to a lot of people's needs. So if you're struggling out there, God bless you. I hope things turn out the best for you. I hope things turn around. And I hope you're able to spend some time with family and friends and have your spirits lifted up and you find some fortitude and hope to move forward. Hope you all have a great Thanksgiving. If you need something to read over Thanksgiving weekend or you want to do a little Christmas shopping, some of these books by Henry L. Rassico will help people deal with the extreme conditions of life. Life is tough, like we said. If you need an outside perspective, an outside frame of reference of how to processing the ups and downs, whether it's ups and downs that we cause or have happened to us or for whatever reason, read some of these books by Henry L. Rassico. They're on Amazon.com. And I guess that's pretty much about it. We'll hopefully, God willing, be back in a few days with some more. Until then, remember, enjoy the rest of your life.